With countbacks a thing of the past, history had been made. 4 players had won the Liston. We'll call the winners out one at a time so you can individually give them the accolades they deserve for winning the most wide-open Liston ever. It's not a heck of a lot of votes. It's been spread far and wide this season. But we'll start from the top of the board. From Port Melbourne, Steve Harkins, would you come forward? He's already called Oscar, now he's got a Liston. Presenting the Listons, the President of the VFA, Mr. John Grieve. I might call them up one at a time to make a quick word. He very rarely gets called Stephen, I suppose. Where did Oscar come from?
Long story.
Tell the truth, Oscar.
I can't even remember myself. I've had it for about 15 years. Long story.
Well, the Liston Trophy, that's something you're going to have to get used to. It's something you thought you'd have to worry about coming here today.
Well, it's worse than waiting for a photo at the races. I was that nervous. No, I'd just like to thank...
Close to the mic.
I'd just like to thank Yorks for coaching us all year, Anton for doing the fitness, and all the players, Darky, all the committee, just everyone on board.
You are a racing man. Did you have any money on yourself? No money. I bet there were a few, though, at Port Melbourne that did. The proof was standing there right before them. Stuart, Joe, Steve and Matt, the Liston quads.
Looking for some movement. Here it is. Oh, another fine pass onto the forward line. Fed on to Harkins. And into the open goal he goes. Sneaks it through. 19-point lead for Port Melbourne. After a little slow to start the first minute or two, they've really got into gear. That's at the 18-minute mark. Fine lead.
Yes, that's good play, and Harkins made sure of the goal, but I think Port are breaking the game up very well in the middle of the ground, creating the play with good handball, good precision kicking, and they are looking very dangerous at the present time.
Beauty finds Jennings. Inside him, Rodder. Porter on the move now. 75 metres out from goal. Rodder up towards the goal square. Knocked away from McCormack. Here's Cooper. Taken away and got Harkins' goal. Great roving by Harkins. He was very dangerous last week in the prelim. Kicked 1-7. He's kicked truly with his first effort today.
Yes, fine play there, Peter. We see in the middle, this came through Billy Swan. Good play, the handball. And we notice here in this contest, Ian Cooper does a bit of hard work. Shepherds well with the body, pushes the ball on, and Harkins in. Good player, good goal. The contest between Swan and Maloney in the centre will be something special.
Swan. Good shepherding there from Big Chad Band. McCormack. Oh, he's got support from Harkins. 35 metres out. It's there. All clear. What a start.
Great goal.
4th possession from Steve Harkins. And the Little Men have got the Burrows motoring, and 3 straight goals, plays one behind after 7.5 minutes.
What I like about Port Melbourne's side, Pete, if you recall earlier in the year, we were very critical of them being too top-heavy with Snedden, Saggers and those guys. And the area where I'm really impressed with is they've done their homework very well and injected a heck of a lot more pace in their side. And through the agency of guys like Quinn and Harkins, they're moving the ball well.
Swan, who's playing very well in the centre. Torpedo punt up to centre half forward at the back. McCormack. Short one to Harkins, and away they go. Here's your goal coming up. Straight through from Stephen Harkins. His second, and Port's 8th.
What a great passage of play, Ross. They really are using the ball well. And there's the 12th possession for Harkins. Over this passage of play, Foley. Quick thinking onto his left foot, found the unattended Harkins about 40 metres out. And isn't he playing a sensational Rovers game? And I love Rovers that kick the ball well and long.
Been one of Coburg's better players. Bradbury dispossessed. Chad Band to Rice. McCormack, they look great. Foley, and now Harkins on the left. Terrific stuff from Port Melbourne, and Harkins kicks his 3rd.
Now a deserved result from, I think about 6 players handle this ball, Ross, and we'll see it on replay here. Tremendous passage of play, and that here we see it now. To Foley, on to that was Foley, sorry. Onto the running Harkins. And is he an accurate left foot kick? Covered every bit of 40, 45 metres.
It was a searing left footer, that one, Sam.
It was a searing left footer.
The whole way. Mutimer took him out of it. McCormick. Swan.
Space.
Harkins. No mistake. Well, they're really rubbing salt into a gaping Coburg wound. 4 goals for Stephen Harkins. And it's not Coburg that are finishing strongly, but Port Melbourne. And they are making that gap at the top of the ladder closer and closer, making the percentage difference not too great, I'd say, at the end of this game.
Sam, Terry Wheeler, coach of Williamstown, and Peter Waitman, coach of Preston, they'd be having to put their thinking caps on after seeing this display, wouldn't they?
But, well positioned. McCormack should be freed. Hicks has got it. Looks for someone. That someone is Harkins.
That is superb skill, Peter.
He's blistering them,
Yes.
Hicks, isn't he? He could have swung the ball at the goals, but decided to find the man, Harkins, and a beautiful little left foot pass.
Right out, Port, right out.
They can't get this pace up, sure.
Right there, Brett.
Well, who knows?
18 points the difference. Not for long.
24.
Well, they've got it back to 24, Sam. They had it there until the Seagulls got rolling. It got to within 12, but they've steadied again, Port.
And mainly attributed to this guy here. Ashley Hicks playing a superb, that was superb.
Actually, they got
pass.
to within 6, didn't they?
Yes, gobbling a goal.
And also Sam, Brett Chadband, whom
Easy ball, his handling not as sure. Taylor's kick smothered, falls to Heatherton. Oh, Di Martino saves the day. Terry Wheeler then, look at Heatherton go. Harkins thought about giving it to Foley. Does it himself.
isn't it ever? But the umpires put that whistle away, Sam. They stuck it in the back pocket there for a couple of minutes.
But he's settled down and he'll be reported. You're carrying on all lane, mate. There was nothing there. The ball knocked the tackle out.
And they needed that goal too, Sam, didn't they? They've had a few opportunities. We'll see it on the screen now. Hicks, as they say, puts the dummy out.
Second goal for Stephen Harkins.
Oh, look at all these Burrows streaming down the field. Foley can go over the top. Had to delay a bit, Condon, but he's got it to Harkins from 25. Yes! Lightning goal from Port Melbourne, and that's the beauty of VFA football. We saw it exemplified there. No wingers. Once you catch a team on the rebound, they're very hard to stop.
Just champagne football, isn't it? Look at this ball move from one end of the ground to the other in about 4 or 5 seconds. You know,
Well sighted by Rainsford, Sam.
Yes.
Wanted to see the players running through the middle. Good quick hands, and Harkins tidied up too.
Story high. And there's a good tackle on Mitchell. Now chance. This is Cameron, first possession, but he's quickly dispossessed. Loose to Heatherton. Good defence by the Seagulls, putting the pressure right on. Now Harkins. He's a left footer on the wrong foot. A good effort from him to put that through. First goal kicked by Steve Harkins.
and what a superb goal, Roscoe. But what about the tackling, Phil? Isn't it been superb? The pressure exerted by both sides.
It was a big effort by Port after all that pressure to come out with a goal, and they certainly needed that one.
Just got similar signs to last year, Port. I spoke to the general manager during the course of the year and said they're hopeful of a big year, but the key forward positions last year were a worry, and at this early stage they appear to be the same problems.
Yes, you can't rely on goals being kicked like that every time you go down forward. Great goal from Steve Harkins.
Need too, Big Chatty, to take some marks there.
Plays on to Harkins, goes for his second, makes no mistake.
Yes, great passage of play, and the value of a good big man asserting his authority in the air opened the game up. Harkins reading the play well, running past in receipt of the hand pass.
He's a neat little player, isn't he, Sam? Harkins, good left foot, controlled, and can kick a goal.
Yes, he's
As
a very
we see
good player.
there.
But if the big man, not only in terms of extending their lead, but more
As Paul Tomei. He favours a long one. Chadband in front this time. Couldn't quite get it on the second grab. Cleverly by Bailey. Oh, Harkins too high. No free kick on the right foot. Has to do it the hard way. and does it very well. His second right foot snap. He's a natural left footer, and Oscar Harkins kicks another goal for Port. What a good day he's had.
Should have been a free kick, Roscoe, would you say? They've been consistent on this.
Here we see it on screen.
Yes, well, that's a free kick. They've paid them like that several times today.
Makes no difference. He certainly has done a power of work for Port up forward. He's very, very dangerous forward pocket rover.
To fly, fisted by Van der Merwe. Harkins got a bad bounce. Condon shows persistence. Oh, there's a free to Harkins. They need a bit of luck, the Borough, at this stage. Provided in the form of a push from Tony O'Brien.
Yeah, I didn't think there was much in that.
Oh, well.
Yeah, but it was there, and you must tackle correctly in situation. They're just giveaways. There's no reason to give away a free kick like that. I find that very
No, I agree.
frustrating.
Watching it, very poor execution.
Before, as Harkins lines this up, Harkins, Hicks, Love and Condon all been pretty quiet. They've been the goal kickers for the Borough. And Harkins kicks truly. His first goal on a fairly quiet afternoon by his standards.
They're only 32 points down, though.
Yours, mate.
I haven't written them off.
Go off.
Well, Frankston have been in receipt of free kicks like this within scoring range and consistent umpiring. There was no doubt about that one.
Yeah, no doubt about the umpiring, just the manner of the tackle. Like, you just must be disciplined on a tackle.
In there and back into the fray.
Yes, you called it early, Sam. You did sweat for a little while, but I think you might be proved right. And Frankston might just win this one very comfortably. Who's back in the square? No one. Well, quick
face-saving goal, Peter.
Yes. Oscar Harkins.
Is it Oscar?
Suspect.
Oscar or Quinn?
Well, I'm just not sure. Might have to see it again.
Harkins it is.
Now, had they got that goal in the first 5 minutes, might have given them a little bit of a boost. You're right, Sam. But
not a lot of room to move, but he is given a free kick by the benevolent Briggs, and away goes Ashley Hicks. Marked by Kennedy. He was a fine four-quarter player against Frankston, one of the few that we saw a fortnight ago. Harkins to within 35 metres. He goes for home.
All clear.
Great start by the Boroughs, courtesy of Oscar Harkins, and the goal comes up after 3 minutes.
Yeah, and just the start that Oakley didn't want. I was just thinking, Peter, in those first 2 or 3 minutes, I thought Oakley was doing very, very well. And the one thing they can't afford from a psychological viewpoint is to let Port Melbourne skip away to a 4 or 5 goal advantage. A side that's been continually getting beaten week in, week out. It's imperative that they start off very well.
Clever kick. He kept that through a number of players to find Heatherton. Mutimer spins it out to Harkins. Good ball movement from Port Melbourne. It should end in a goal. And Harkins doesn't miss those. He gets his second, and that really came from nothing, but that's the beauty of VFA football.
Yeah.
Catch them on the rebound, and they're pretty helpless.
Yeah,
Exactly
a couple of
right.
mistakes there by Oakley players, though, when it was tight and they needed to feed it out. And it was a very good handball by Heatherton on the left hand. And then a further handball out again from Mutimer. Again on the left hand to Harkins, and Oscar knows what he's doing here. Have a bounce, get right in close, and just tap it through the goals. Good play, Port Melbourne.
Bouncing the ball just too high for Paul, who puts the tackle in, a pretty indiscriminate one, but it put the pressure on Taylor, and here is Oscar Harkins. He can put his team within 3 points. The quarter's gone 35 minutes, that's all.
I think he's a little fraction too far out. Not a really long kick, Oscar, but having said that, he could
They could be off for the torpedo, gauging by the way he's holding the ball for extra distance.
No, the drop punt it is. Shepherding on the line, terrific goal from Harkins.
That is a great goal from Oscar Harkins. A great goal from about 50 metres.
Well, they were 29 down at one stage. They're just 3 points behind now, the Borough. We've had 21 goals kicked in a half of football here at Port Melbourne. And Paul Field, our statistician, how many goals did Port kick after the 30-minute mark? Barlow, forward, holds off his man to allow the handball to get to Clahessy. Here's Kennedy. He'll look for somebody this time. There's Harkins. No, it's Asani calling for it. Also Harkins.
Well, they haven't picked up the resting rover.
No, Tapping's been in trouble all day with the resting rovers.
Standing on his gate back 2
Not sure that was.
Oh, Wally
He was
Matera, I
at
think,
fault
on the
then.
ball.
Yes, I think it was Matera who was the culprit on that occasion.
Harkins makes him in for that hasty snap of 2 or 3 minutes ago.
I think you're right, Peter, too, about Oscar. He's a pretty proud little fella, and he's really working hard to show Wally Matera that he's the top rover in the VFA.
Just in that first quarter, do you remember when Harkins, or second quarter, when he barrelled into the back of Matera and got the 50-metre overturned? I think that was just showing Matera, you know, this is a tough school here.
Yep. The old Borough boys played a pretty good game, Oscar Harkins.
Simply brilliant, Brett Yorgie.
It was Donald, and in short,
Oscar Harkins
was Stephen Harkins.
Well, that's about his distance, Tony. He wouldn't want to be any further out, but he is a reliable, usually a reliable, I should say, an accurate kick for goal.
Fourth possession, and really and truly he should get the distance and full points. First goal of the match to Port Melbourne through Stephen Harkins. They lead by 5 points.
And it took how many minutes into the quarter, Ross?
17 and a half minutes.
When was the last game of BFA football you can recall that it's taken 17 minutes in good conditions to register a major
I can't recall, Sam.
I certainly can't.
And we had 54 goals last week, and they're coming thick and fast. 18 in the third quarter. This is a different sort of game.
Moment, Port Melbourne through Cameron. Big leap from Harold Heatherton. What a good go. Pardon me, Bomber James. James. Tim Harrington in best position there. Harkins picks up. And there's something happened behind play. It's a goal.
It's a Port Melbourne free anyway. Justin Paul was impeded, but Harkins scored the goal, so it stands.
And Bomber James, that is a big leap.
Well, when you have a look at the composition of their side, here we see it on screen. Harrington endeavouring to mark one-handed. Paul kicking the ball on to the unattended Harkins, who kicks truly on his non-preferred foot, the right foot.
Gets a hand pass in time. Cameron, like a training run. Good pass, though, to Harkins in forward pocket. Oscar Harkins.
His 100th game, and his banner today was made by the Richmond Football Club, I think. Was that correct? Fitzroy Football Club. Sorry, God, Fitzroy, of course.
Terrific.
Just 16 possessions to Oscar Harkins, and perhaps a goal on his 100th game. Not his best game, not the best for Port, but that's better than nothing.
It's good to see him keep chipping away and trying. It's exactly what Searle instructed his players, to keep plugging away and putting a bit of respectability back in the scoreline.
Gee, only 5 goals, Sam.
Yes, well, it's hard to imagine after seeing them last week. Take this opportunity to send a cheerio, Phil, to Harris having a brief stint off the bench, yes, to a
Neil Danaher,
great footballing mate of ours, and Peter Melesso in at the Royal Melbourne Hospital at the moment. I know he's viewing today.
Ross, except to say that Sandringham have won the toss, will kick with a very strong breeze, and the footing, surprisingly, very, very good.
and Harkins into the breeze straight away, scores Port's first goal, so they've bounced out of the blocks through their classy rover, Steve Harkins, on the left foot. So that goal coming just within a few seconds of the bounce.
Well, it's a good start into the breeze. And Oscar Harkins, of course, one of the key players in the Port lineup.
He's been missing for a greater portion of the year too, Phil. They really missed him around the tax.
They do.
Port's better players. Walsh knocked off the ball. A high tackle, advantage paid. Harkins on his left foot, and Port get there first.
As the old Oscar, an experienced player, a lot of class about the boy, and a very good left foot goal. Needed that. Port Melbourne kicking with the breeze. Really struggled, but they need players such as Harkins to have a lot of the ball. You see Oscar here weave around the oncoming players onto that trusty left foot. He doesn't miss many, Oscar. Kicked quite a few goals in his time at Port Melbourne.
Bit of netball going on there. Bailey trying to bend the ball into Harkins' path. Very clever play. Free kick for Harkins. Advantage shouldn't be played because there isn't any. Crowd like the way Harkins won that free against Eames. Difficult shot in very boggy piece of ground. Wants the wind to help him. It has. Great kick from Oscar Harkins. His second goal.
It's a good little contest, that one, Harkins versus Eames in the centre. Both left footers, plenty of talent. Liston Trophy winners, been around for a while now. Good. Harkins, very, very clever. Well, it's out of bounds by half a metre, but who cares? Brings it back, gets a free kick. Bit of poetic licence there.
Both Liston Trophy winners.
Two of the best players in the competition.
Madigan fighting with his teammate Walsh. Walsh wins out. Ryan. Good tackle, James. McCaw. Onto it, Harkins. In front of goal. Dribbles it and gets it. And that's persistence from the Port captain, Oscar Harkins, for his third goal.
God, I can't recall a time when two centremen have played so wide of each other. Well, I suppose I can if I think about it, but they're certainly playing a million miles from each other. Harkins and Eames, and as Harkins goes after it, good play.
You'll find, Phil, that Harkins is having a spell on the ball, roving.
Yeah, well, in fact, Eames is going with Harkins now.
And so I told you, he's tagging him.
Oh, God, he was. Gee, well. He beat there, Peter. If that was a tagging roll, I don't know what one is.
Gone on then. He's gone the pass instead, which was unselfish, but it's made it difficult. It's come back to Clark. That's good play. Harkins goes on and gets his fourth goal.
Good work. I want to labour the point, but I just reckon that Harkins is a more dangerous player roving, and when he's close to the goals too. I've seen him kick 4 and 5 goals in games, and he really does it well. He's kicked 2 now, early in the quarter from the forward pocket. I think it's good to see him amongst
team. Good vision to spot Harkins.
It was a great pass, Peter. Centering the ball beautifully. I was wrong, I'll admit it.
Walsh streams out of the back line. Poor kick. Sean Bowden fell. Edwards runs straight down the middle. Long kick, but a poor one. Caught McGaw napping. Bailey. Good hand pass. Harkins, number 5. Lucky they've got him to kick goals. 3 in the quarter to Oscar Harkins.
It's very interesting because Anthony Eames is in the centre of the ground, virtually in the centre square when Harkins kicks that goal. So is he tagging? No, looks like he may have been shifted.
Good use of the ball by Port here. They really stretched Werribee. Ending up with Harkins, who's had a purple patch in his third term.
5 goals, a big effort, isn't it? Out of a score of 8.
It's Normington going back onto Harkins now.
Yes.
Counter attack about 75 metres away from goal, or Port Melbourne's goal, I should say.
Oh,
there's a free against School. There's no doubt that Harkins will win receipt of this.
You know, it almost runs to a formula, doesn't it, Port's performances? Harkins love the sort of players who lift them at critical times. It was the same last week, Sam.
Yes. I thought Bailey was the architect of that revival. I thought he's been getting a lot of possessions, but they'll become more telling possessions in this term. He's starting to find his target, his handball in particular, and his pace has been worrying. It's an important one for Harkins, who's had a quiet game so far. Well, that looks all right off the boot, yes. And in fact, the Borough third goal is scored off the boot of their skipper, Stephen Harkins, and they claw their way back into this match. The margin now 11 points. Williamstown 4-9-33.
Yes, an important goal.
3-4-22.
And as they say in the classics, Ross, what do they call those goals?
Important ones, don't they, Philip?
I don't know, steadier?
Captain's goals.
Oh, captain's, sorry. You threw me.
You two must be asleep.
I was trying to work out 3 and 5 minutes to Port.
Not bad performance. I think he's on the interchange, Sam.
Look at this. Queuing up to kick the goal. It's there to replace Steve Harkins, who kicks the goal. The vice-captain gets his first of the afternoon. The two Raiders go over to one another. How far? Port, 28 minutes gone, and there's probably another 4 or 5 minutes left.
Just making a mockery of it now, Phil, aren't they?
Yes, and I think the Port faithful would love this, seeing Oscar kicking the goal. He's had a lean day, tagged by Probert. There he goes on and kicks with the trusty boot. He'd be happy with that. He'll give him something to talk about after the game anyway.
Umpire Miller. Munch. Oh, Donald ran onto the ball. Oh, beautifully. Hand passed it onto Munch. Munch spotted Harkins out wide into a pocket. He dribbles the ball in front of it, paddles, it breaks away from Rayburn onto his trusty left foot and snaps, and I think he snapped truly. Yes! The Borough's 4th goal. Brilliant individual performance from Oscar Harkins, shaking off Richie Rayburn.
Yes, well, Rayburn's got the tagging job on Hicks, and see Munch puts the ball out in front of him. The thing about Oscar Harkins, he is so good close to the ground. Look at the speed he makes here. Gets around and gets onto the left foot, and boy is he dangerous close into goal. Not a long kick, but a very good snapshot.
No respite in centre bounce for young Harvard. Munch and...
Game on the bench. What a great shot of the angle. He's a long way out. Oh, Justin Bailey off interchange. Oh, I thought he'd put that through. It's still only 5 points, so wherever he can win. We've had 27 minutes, Sam.
Oh, Ross, I've nearly lost my voice here amid the excitement. Right, to bring the ball back. Hurry, son, there's only precious seconds left. Can't be much time on. Yeah, he goes long, up to half forward, looking for Harrington, and why wouldn't he? The big man's been terrific in the second half. The loose ball to Harkins. On to Bowden. Bowden's kick smothered. Harkins butters up again. He's held. Oh,
rubbish.
Great kick, Philip. You don't agree with the umpire?
Got in a tough encounter. Too technical.
Here we are. Oh, well, it was high, Phil.
Take it back, umpire. You're right.
I'll give you another opportunity, Philip. We all make mistakes.
I must admire you, Phil, and admitting when you're wrong.
It's a big man. I don't think I would have given up that easily, though, Philip.
I think the picture ruled me straight out of the ballpark.
From 45 metres out,
it's the
right through. Game, set and match.
Through to the grand final. 2 goals to Oscar Harkins, and what a telling one in what has been a remarkable game of football. Just superb football. Touch too high, not a lot in it, but enough for the free kick to be paid.
And the Borough supporters already booking their packed passage to Princes Park in a fortnight's time.
Man there, Quinn. And the handball to Bowden, who's got a free kick. Advantage is now played. Steve Harkins.
Easy as you like.
Yeah, that's their 4th goal. They lead by 21 points.
Well, it just shows their versatility too, Peter. You know, people talk about Berry and Sexton, and I do too, as being very good players. But here today, every one of these goals has come from midfield play. Nothing to do with driving the ball long, a la the old Tommy Hafey style, and kicking to the big targets. It's been the little blokes, and they've run it inside, well inside 50.
Rather flashily, but it's McGee who kicks out of the pack. Now here's a chance there for Paccioni. His kick into the pocket. I think he thought he was under a lot more pressure than what he really was. Oh, great
well
play
done,
by
Oscar.
Harkins, and Harkins comes around, beats Charles for pace, and his goal. Oh, that is a desperation goal then by Harkins. And Port Melbourne have hit back, trailing by 6 points, and we've been playing just a tick over 17 minutes in the 3rd term.
Well, he was always going to kick this, Clark. I've seen Oscar play a lot of football. Once that ball spun out and he went onto the left boot. Once this, well, actually, Paccioni could have really stitched the goal up in the first instance, but look at Oscar Harkins here. Once he comes round on that left boot, shut the gate. He's a beautiful goal kicker. Kicked quite a few goals in his career.
Winkle lays on his back in the centre square. He needs to be on his feet. Harkins makes it 39 points. Steve Harkins kicks his 2nd, and Port are on fire in this second half, regaining confidence for another crack at the top 2, Sandringham and Springvale.
Oh, don't speak to me like that. Cool it.
It's McKay talking to umpire Love.
Yeah, well, McKay copped a little whack in the centre. But look at Oscar there. On the right foot, Oscar Harkins. His 2nd goal. Beautiful piece of work.
Oh, Kershaw. There's one glove.
Yes, one glove.
Won't get the distance. Hope's in front. Croth with a fist away.
Left boots.
How's the corky this time?
Yes.
All right, Oscar Harkins puts it through. And the third goal of the quarter to Port Melbourne. Sandringham have only kicked one. Lead out to 15 points.
Yes, Ross, the minute he snared this, you could see the goal because he was going to spin on the left boot. He's good off a couple of steps, Oscar Harkins. I've seen him play some dazzling games of football in the old VFA. Look, couple of steps, steady. Not a long kick, but he's been a great goal kicker over the journey. Excellent play.
Sexton and West. West wins it. And terrific play from Pastore. But the kick was smothered. So ball in dispute in between the centre and half forward for Port Melbourne. Jacoma off to Butterworth. Good kick. And Harkins will have a set shot. And they need one. 30 metres out from goal.
Well, what I can tell you about Oscar, Rob, is that he's not a long kick. We all know that. But he's kicked a lot of goals in his career. I haven't got them at my fingertips. It'll be a couple of hundred. I reckon it'd probably be up around the 300 mark, I would say. And he's a good, even kick over about 35, 40 metres.
Let's see how he goes. Casual left footer, looks okay.
Phil, that's his 229th goal.
Ross Booth is amazing and just the man with the stats when required.
Well, I thought he would have kicked more than that. I, in fact, kicked 317 from 205 games. So I was working on the same.
That is dreadful. That is shocking.
But we see it here. I remember him. I've seen him kick 5 or 6 in a game, though, and you think, I suppose, as a rover. But what's that average? He's got about
1 and 3.
1 and a bit a game, yes.
It's all true, Rob, what I told you.
I'm a slow learner.
I just like to entertain you.
Terrific stuff here at the Northport Oval, and Bowden with possession number 34 heads up towards centre half forward, and Sexton almost took it. Bailey did. Good sweeping hand pass to Cheel. Here's Harkins. He should put him in front again on the right, and he's put it through. Oscar. Goal for goal here at Northport Oval.
And Oscar Harkins, I tell Ross, I haven't had as much excitement since Perkins won a gold at Atlanta.
And how long ago was that?
Only recently, I think. But Harkins there on the right foot, Rob. He's a natural left footer. He's got to push that ball through with as much force as he can. And you look at his face when he puts it through. It's a great... Look at this. When he knows he's got to get distance, he's grimacing. And he does. On the wrong foot. That's experience.
Yeah, singled out by the Willie coach, Merv Kane, as a danger man. Gould with a job on him.